I support a plan where we know that every constituent and every person who is on the individual market will get a 20% reduction. I absolutely support that plan. I do not support a plan where, again, we give companies who are benefiting off sick people in our communities and we tell them, do whatever you want with that, and you may or may not decrease the premiums. I don't support that. So I am going to risk my life, my family's life, my children's life. I'm going to go through the desert. I'm going to put them on a boat. I'm going to do all sorts of crazy things to get them to safety so I can get a driver's license. Said no one ever. Representatives, I am an immigrant. I came to this country 31 years ago from a brown country, and I have been a citizen of this country for the last 20 years. 2 years ago, I went to renew my passport. I have a passport because I am a citizen, and when I got there at the office, they told me I needed to reproduce my naturalization papers from 31 years ago because I, and I quote, am a threat to national security. My 3 children live here. My husband lives here. I obviously live here. My 3 brothers, a police officer, a restaurant owner, and a merchant marine live here. My parents live here. People don't immigrate because it's fun, because they have nothing better to do. They leave everything they know, every person they know, the language they know, the customs they know. They leave all of that behind under very dire circumstances. And all this bill does is that it says that if you end up here, we will have some compassion and we will allow you to live. We will allow you to take your kids to school and go to work so that you can feed them. This bill came to life by and with the advocacy of Erica Barnes, who is a fierce woman who lost her little girl, Chloe, to a rare disease. Erica will tell you that once you start down this journey, due to the lack of resources in rare diseases, you become your lonely advocate. You are in charge of finding the appropriate physician, traveling, getting lodging, and even doing your own research. Diagnosing and treating a rare disease is extremely difficult, costly, and time-consuming. So by having a hub that families can access, and by having this hub that physicians can access, the goal of this bill is to remove barriers and make the journey of all those who come after Erica and Chloe less challenging. I ask for your support today. This narrative of this bill doesn't do enough, it doesn't go far enough, or there's an issue with it, so we're going to vote no on it. Well, what you're doing is you're voting to keep the status quo. What you're doing is to keep protecting the billionaires at the expense of the people of the state. That's what it means when things aren't good enough, when you want more from a bill. Because how do you get more if you don't start somewhere? So the reason why I ran for office is because of stories like Representative Hamilton's. Because I could not hear any more stories of people suffering at the hands of billionaires, of big pharma, of PBMs in this country and in this state. And I understand that big pharma is coming after me and has reached out to many of you here and the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce and all those other organizations, and I want it to be very clear that I don't care. And that I am going to stand up for the people that are suffering in my community, and I will not stand up to keep the status quo and to keep protecting people who benefit off of the sick people in this state. I ask for your support.